I became a fan. And he's just so much better than what he appears to be. You know what he was.
You know what? Full weight. So I was 16 and I fought in the adult division. It was 100 kilos. That's how it started. And we've been doing great.
Rico is a fighting man. That's all he ever knows. He's been doing it from being a baby. He's very highly driven. He's a good listener. You rely on your team. Your team is me and Dennis. Dennis Correal's gym is super pro. Zevenberger. So we're there. Rico's been going there from the beginning.
Mike, so when a super fight's announced like this, you've obviously been in many of these super fights before. How much pressure is there on a guy to deliver on the biggest stage?
Hey, listen, man. This is the biggest moment of your life. This is the moment we always dreamed of, being a super fighter. Every time I fight, the whole world is watching, and this is just a dream come true for both of the fighters, I believe. Stuff, but I see I can push him, and I can.
He's not used to. I'm a kickboxer. Two worlds are colliding.
This is a serious physical monster. This is a guy who's one of the greatest kickboxers of all time.
With him, if this was a kickboxing match, I'm trying to tell you, Alexander's in an awful lot of trouble. Do not take a kick off him. Thankfully for Oleksandr Usyk, this is a boxing match. And I think once them first 3 or 4 rounds pass, and that awkwardness and stance and style Oleksandr Usyk figures out, I think Rico could be in for a hard night's work.
I mean, someone saying it could change boxing forever if he wins, Rico. How does Rico go about trying to solve that puzzle of Usyk?
It'd be the greatest shock boxing's ever seen. If Rico Verhoeven is to defeat Oleksandr Usyk, it will be the greatest victory in boxing history.
Listen, when I was young, I too using kickboxing, boxing, but I like.
Nobody told me that.
I like, but not like this. Yeah, the crazy man, you know, the legs.
Maybe he throws a high kick.
Yeah, but I like kick and legs on street. Oof, yeah, low kick, magiri. That's
nice.
Yeah, we training but then my coach, it's not kickboxing coach, it's like jiu-jitsu, you know, wrestling, boxing is one coach, but another sport. It's like a crazy man. But then I look for a good coach. It's my first coach, Lapin, Sergey, yes, it's, oh, good. My father said, hey, try boxing. I say, okay.
And here you are.
Huh?
And here you are. You tried it and you've done well.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson just backed a kickboxer to beat the best heavyweight boxer on the planet. And what he said will blow your mind. Iron Mike admits he was never convinced by training fighters before, but Rico Verhoeven changed everything. Tyson is pushing this Usyk to his absolute limits, preparing him for war against Oleksandr Usyk.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ, he looks like he's about 250 now, something like that, and he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super muscled.
Space, and I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works, but Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over within Ghana.
Here's where it gets wild. Tony Bellew thinks Rico is dangerous in kickboxing, but completely screwed once Usyk finds his boxing rhythm. He's predicting a long, brutal night for the kickboxer.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ, he looks like he's about 250 now, something like that, and he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super.
But Tyson isn't backing down. He's giving Rico technical advice on how to pressure Usyk, sharing secrets from his own heavyweight championship runs. This isn't just hype. Tyson believes Rico can actually win.
I'm always like very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy.
Max Kellerman just dropped a reality check. Usyk looks stronger than ever, showing zero decline at 37. He's operating at peak condition while Rico steps into the most dangerous challenge in boxing history.
This is not a fight I am a massive fan of, and now that I'm free, now that I can kind of, be more open about my opinions on this fight, I fucking hate this fight. I can't stand it. I understand the circus nature of it in terms of like big name kickboxer, one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time, coming in to fight an all-time great in the boxing space in his sport. We saw it with Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. The only difference there was, I think, more fans of Francis Ngannou, more of a what-if factor because of his...
Think about this. Usyk dominated Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Now a kickboxer thinks he can do what elite boxers couldn't. Bellew calls it extraordinary if Rico even survives, let alone wins.
He's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Verhoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top.
Rico explains his mindset perfectly. He's calculated, precise, and adapting his striking power from kicks to punches. The kickboxing king genuinely believes his hands will translate into boxing success against Usyk.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money. Picking money over...
But here's the brutal truth. Critics are destroying this matchup. They're calling it a joke, questioning why the undisputed champion is facing someone with limited boxing experience instead of real competition.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard.
Fabio Wardley admits Usyk can choose anyone but expected him to face an actual boxer. The respect is there for Rico, but the competitive logic, that's what has everyone confused about this whole situation.
So that's where the decision came from like, I think, yeah, we did it all within glory.
Okay, you had conquered the mountain multiple times, you fought them all, you beat them all. I can understand the desire to want something new. And so shortly thereafter, we start to hear, at least for me, the order was, all right, I remember finding out that you left on my way to the Jake.
The numbers don't lie. Rico has a minimal professional boxing record while Usyk is the undisputed #1 heavyweight. It's getting massive attention, but does it have actual boxing merit? Many say absolutely not.
Wears down a little bit, but those early rounds, you've got to be very, very careful. For me, Tyson being out of the ring as long as he has, that's a relatively dangerous opponent to come back to.
Yeah, I think Makhmoulov's dangerous. I would describe him as dangerous. I wouldn't describe him as a world-class heavyweight. Yeah. He's dangerous. He's perfect for Tyson. Tyson Fury from 2 or 3 years.
Peter Fury disagrees completely. He says both men actively wanted this fight because they're ultimate warriors testing themselves. At the highest level, these crossover challenges happen naturally when fighters are truly confident.
Usyk steps in and will take on one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. I'm actually quite a big kickboxing fan, so I know quite a lot about him. I've watched a few of his fights over the years. They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands. I can't lie.
Dave Allen delivered the harshest take. Rico is one of the greatest kickboxers ever, But that doesn't justify fighting the best boxer alive. He's calling it a straight mismatch that should be an exhibition. Rico sees this as his ultimate achievement, the cherry on top of his combat sports legacy. Meanwhile, Usyk promises this is serious competition, not entertainment. He's training with complete intensity and focus. So there you have it. The greatest kickboxer alive thinks he can beat the best boxer on earth, with Mike Tyson in his corner believing it's possible. This isn't just about one crossover fight. This is about whether elite striking from one combat sport can translate into championship-level success in another. Here's my question, drop it in the comments. Is this the most dangerous gamble in combat sports history, or the most inspiring underdog story waiting to happen? If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really at stake, smash that like button and subscribe, because this fight is going to change everything we think we know about crossover combat sports.